we'll have a seat into the middle of our mat. All right, and so, just as that reminder, we use the beginning of the yoga class to create intention. The word for intention is the sankalpa. So we want to set an intention perhaps with our class. So once you are on the mat and seated, we can begin to, bring some awareness into the body. Maybe closing the eyes, observing the 5 senses, or resting on awareness of the breath. And basically you have to think of it as a snow globe, right? Our world is a snow globe. We have our 5 senses. Everything is constantly bombarding us. And so it's like that snow globe, very agitated, all of the snowflakes, just whirling around in that agitated space. And so sitting on the mat is like taking that snow globe all shooken up and setting it down so that it can start to rest, and you can see the image or that little statue, that little caricature figurine that is in the middle of the snow globe. And in that same way, we find in our yoga practice, all right, so we've shaken up the snow globe, that's the 5 senses, the whole world very agitated, and we put it on the shelf to relax. And so yoga practice is just like that, right? We're agitated, the whole world is swirling around us, our 5 senses, and so we find a seat on the mat, we come into our practice, and then and through our yoga practice, we start to find stillness, right? The world starts settling down. The snow globe starts to settle. We get to see the clear image that's in the middle of the globe. And so in the spirit of the yoga practice, right, the clear image or that figurine that's in the middle of the snow globe is our true essence of being. And so we have to remember that's the ultimate intention with our yoga practice, is to have a clear image of ourself. We can set other intentions as we go along, like I want to be more truthful, I want to be more harmless, nonviolent. You could think of the 10 yamas and niyamas. One of those could be an intention, or we could set a broader intention of just peace and happiness. But our beginning of the class is always a centering, right? Calming down so that we can slowly begin to experience ourselves, slowly begin to feel that intention within us. So let's try that for a few moments. We're just going to have a seat and then casually, with the eyes closed, just sort of catalog the different places on the body. So see if we can notice our scalp and the hairline, see if we can notice the forehead and the eyebrows, noticing maybe the eyes and the eye sockets, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth. And then see if we can explore some of the space inside, right? Can we feel the inside of the mouth, the sinuses? Right? Can we feel inside of the throat? If you notice yourself taking a little swallow or a breath in through the nose or the mouth, right? Can we experience the different sensations, with those internal effects? And then same thing, moving throughout the rest of the body, down the arms, right? What does the shoulders feel like? The elbows, the wrists, the hands, the fingers. Are there places on our upper body that we can't perceive? And that's okay if you can't perceive something. Right? It just might be a very broad and gross or heavy sensation. We don't feel the fine little tinglings of the nerve endings. So whatever we experience observing the chest and the torso, the hips, the legs, the knees, shins, ankles, toes. And what do we experience in this moment? And so as you've major way, perhaps throughout the whole body, we can start to turn our attention to the breath, the natural breath, the breath that just occurs without you trying to do anything. Just watch that inhale and exhale come and go. So the breath here, right? The breath is driven by this underlying essence or spark of life. And as we turn our attention to it, right, we are now in tune, or a little bit closer to be in tune with that essence of life, that spark. And we can begin to manipulate and control that life-giving energy of the breath by choosing our inhale and choosing our exhale. So begin that now, noticing your breath. Let's participate with it. As you feel the urge to inhale, start to control that breath then. Allow the belly to move forward, allow the ribs to move out to the sides, forwards and backwards. We have a three-dimensional body. We're in 3D space, so feel the breath fill that three-dimensional space of the ribs, the diaphragm. As you exhale, same thing, right? You're feeling that urge for the breath to go out. You're participating, you're controlling the breath out and in. So very fundamental, rudimentary pranayama, right? Prana, energy, yama, observance or control. So very rudimentary pranayama here, the control of the inhale, the control of the exhale. All right, so hold your intention here, hold the intention with your breath. Let each inhale and exhale be a silent mantra where you repeat that phrase or that word that inspires you. Right, so if we're thinking of our yamas and niyamas, maybe we're breathing in ahimsa, non-violence, and we're exhaling out ahimsa, non-violence. Right, or we're breathing in the broad idea of peace and happiness for ourselves and exhaling peace and happiness for others. But we hold that sankalpa, that intention with our mind and our breath so that we're in the present moment. And now we can start to move our body around that intention, hopefully uncovering again a deeper layer of awareness of ourself. All right, so following your breath, as you inhale, sit up a little bit taller, let the crown of the head reach up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, keeping your shoulders back, just lower the chin to the chest. Inhale and rock your left ear over to the left shoulder, maybe tilting the head back slightly, but exhale, bring the chin right back around. Chin to chest. As we inhale, switch sides. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe a little upturn of your chin here. And as we exhale, we're going to come right back down, chin to chest. Good. So go slow here. We're waking the body up. So in that way, right when we started, we're centering, right? So we're centering awareness in ourself. And now the movement of the body as we are exploring what it means to be here in this self, right? The annamaya kosha, the food body, the physical sheath. Good. So feeling our neck, participating with the breath. All right, let's move into our shoulders. The next time that you exhale, bring the chin down to the center of the chest. Let your fingertips touch the floor and walk the fingers away from you. We're going to inhale, turn the palms up, reach up towards the sky, big inhale. And as you exhale, just bring the fingertips to your shoulders. Bring the elbows together, round your spine. And just a little arc here. So inhale, a seated cat-cow as we make big circles with our arms. Exhale down. Inhale, arcing our back, elbows go back, up. Exhale, elbows together, rounding our spine. So we've warmed up our neck, now we're getting into our shoulders and upper back. And if you'd like to close your eyes, of course, at any point during your yoga practice, if you feel comfortable with the yoga pose, when you feel comfortable with the movement, closing our eyes can provide a more intimate connection with ourselves. Because when we open our eyes, attention goes out into the world. Good. So let's switch directions. Inhale, bring our elbows forwards and up. Big inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale. Good. Inhale, elbows together. Up and back, exhale. Good, following your breath, inhaling up and exhaling back. Good, do 2 more, inhale up, exhale back. Last time, big inhale, bring it up, and exhale. Good, bring the hands down to the floor. We're gonna go side to side, lateral extension. So inhale, reach your left arm up into the air, and as we exhale, reach left arm over the body to the right side. And stay here for 3 breaths. We can lower to our elbow if we need to, or reach out to the side with our hand, but try to remain connected to the floor with your hips. Right, so a lateral extension, breathing up, right? We can feel this perhaps in the quadratus laborum, maybe latissimus dorsi, these intercostal muscles, right? Just depending on what is tight. Good, let's switch sides. Use your inhale, bring yourself back on up, and we're gonna exhale. Left hand down, reach that right arm over. All right, a couple options are looking up towards the sky, so bringing our chin almost into the armpit and looking up. You can also keep your gaze forwards or down towards the mat. This all really, again, depends on how we feel in the cervical spine. All right, good. Switching now, we're going to slowly inhale and come back up. Just a gentle twist. So since we're reaching our right arm up, let's twist to our left. So as we exhale, bring our left hand to the right knee, right hand behind, and twist, a seated twist. Good, as you inhale, come back around, bring both arms up. Let's switch back to the other side. So exhaling over to our left. Good, inhale, bring both arms up. As we exhale, take your hands down to the sides. We're going to take our legs out in front of us. First, the right leg. So right leg out to the side. Good. Turn and face the leg for a seated one-leg stretch we call Janu Shirshasana. So with an inhale, reach both arms up. And as we exhale, folding over that right leg. Okay, so if we have straps available, you can always use a strap to get access to your foot. If you don't have a strap, you can always bend the knee, reach down, grab the foot with the bent knee, and slowly begin to straighten the leg as far as feels comfortable for us. Good. Inhale and exhale. All right, we'll switch sides here in just a moment. So finding one more round of breath in and out, we're going to inhale and take both arms up. Exhale, hands down to the sides, leaning back, switching legs. So now left leg out to the side, right foot to the inside of the groin, facing our left leg. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, folding over the left leg. Good. So forehead to knee is the traditional name of the pose. So you could try to bring the forehead down to the knee. I would encourage you to lift through the spine just to make sure that we're not collapsing the lower back. And we can create some length here in the back of that left leg. Good. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Final big breath in whenever you come to that. Exhale. We're going to come up with an inhale. So maybe reach both arms forward or use your hands to help you. Transition now to tabletop. So as you exhale, bring the hands down in any way that you comfortably need to. Move on to hands and knees. All right, so hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Just a gentle rock side to side to loosen our hips up to begin with. Maybe some circles like you're doing a hula hoop. So if you go one direction with your circles, make sure you go the opposite direction. Good. So finding stillness in your your tabletop, we're going to move into traditional cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, tailbone lifts, shoulders roll back, looking forwards and up. And as we exhale, squeezing our core, tuck, tailbone, chin, cat back. So inhale to cow back, and exhale, cat back. So that's 2. Let's do 5 total. 5 is a great number to choose in terms of how many repetitions we're going to do for a movement or for how many breaths we're going to take in a yoga pose. 5 is a great number. So this is the last one, inhaling and exhaling, finding our tabletop. We're moving into Just a balance here, bird dog. I want you to take your right arm, reach it forwards, inhale, and as you exhale, extend your left leg back behind you. So we're going to push through the heel, toes are down, and reach through the fingers, thumb is up. So your right palm is turned in towards the ear, and we feel nice and tight here in our core. So breathe. 2 more breaths in and out. Good, inhale. Exhale, slowly bend your left knee, reach the right hand behind, grab the top of the foot. With an inhale, roll the shoulders back, look forwards. Exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Let's make a little bow here. Good, breathe. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale, final big breath in. As we exhale slowly, with control, lower back to your tabletop. All right, switching sides, bird dog. Left arm reaches forwards, inhale, and then exhale, right leg goes back. So remember, we're reaching as far forward and back as we can, but we want to keep our body flat to the floor. So try not to look forward with your gaze. Keep your head down, looking towards the floor, and this keeps our neck flat. And then pushing back through that heel, try to tuck the tailbone just a little bit so you stay nice and secure. All right, we're going to transition to that balance, which is our half bow. So as you exhale, bend the right knee, reach the left hand behind, grabbing foot or ankle. Inhale, roll the shoulder back, look forwards. As you exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Good, lift. It's a challenge here, so breathe. Good, 1 more inhale and exhale, slowly, gently lower back to tabletop. Okay, so our bow poses help to open up the pectoral and the shoulder, and we're going to do back of the shoulder with thread the needle, so threading the needle. So we stay in tabletop, you keep your right hand down. You can start with the other hand, but we're starting right hand this time. So right hand stays down. As you inhale, sweep the left arm out to the side and up, making a nice big T with the body. And then as we exhale, thread, take the thread and put it through the eye of the needle. So reaching that left arm underneath the space of the right wrist and right knee, lowering to our left shoulder. Now it's hard to see our bodies here, but try to feel like the hips are over the knees. Try not to sit back like a child's pose. Try to keep the hips over the knees. And if we can, look up towards the ceiling. A couple of options here are reaching the right arm forward like a down dog, or reaching the right arm behind the back, trying to find the hip crease. Or you can take the right foot out to the side, and I'll show you this on the opposite side so you can see what that looks like. All right, coming out of our pose, push into your right hand, find tabletop. All right, so let's switch our sides. So left hand stays down now. We're going to inhale and sweep the right arm up into the air. Nice big T with the chest. As we exhale, bring the right arm underneath to the left side. So what are some of those variations again? We can stay just like this. This is the original intention of the pose, looking up over that left shoulder. Left hand can be forward like a down dog. Left arm can be reaching behind the back like a bind. Or we can try taking our left foot out to the side. All right, depending on how we feel in our body, you might even be able to, have a kettlebell here, but you might be able to grab the big toe with that right hand. Just something fun, nice variation. Good, so no matter which version you've chosen for yourself, your left hand helps to push yourself back in the tabletop. So use that left hand, come back to your tabletop. Good, walk the hands to the top of the mat, bring your big toes together, move the knees apart, and as you exhale, find child's pose. So just a gentle rock side to side, perhaps with the hips. If your forehead is on the mat, maybe rock the head side to side like a gentle no. Just a nice way to loosen up our spine. Good, we're going to move into our sun salutations, Surya Namaskara. So when you inhale from child's pose, coming back into all fours, but the hands now are in down dog placement. So all you have to do is tuck the toes, and with an exhale, send the hips up and back. Try to get those heels towards the floor. They might not touch. That's fine. Good. Pedal the feet left and right. All right, good. Let's open up our hips before we move into our sun salutation. So move your left foot a little closer to your right foot. With an inhale, send the right leg up into the air, bend the right knee, and let's see, can we stack our hips to the right? So looking underneath our right shoulder, right hip stacked over the left. Good, take an inhale, and as we exhale, step forward for a high lunge. Just kind of prepping our legs. When we inhale, take both arms up, big breath in, reach up. Big inhale, nice high lunge, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands back to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. All right, good. Try the other side. So as you inhale, lift the left leg up nice and high, bend the knee. As you exhale, stack the hips. Good. Opening the front of our hips here, the psoas. Some of the obliques, we might feel that there. Good. One more inhale, and as we exhale, step forward. Trying that high lunge. You can always lower to your right knee, your back knee for low lunge if you need the accessibility. Inhale, good. Bring both arms up. Now step forwards for forward fold. So with an exhale, hands to the top of the mat. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. All right, we're going to do sun salutation C today with our feet hip width distance apart. So forward fold, move your feet underneath the hips and the shoulders. Bend the knees. Let's make it a restorative forward fold. Grab your elbows. Shake the head yes and no. Shrug the shoulders. Cross your arms the opposite way. Same thing. Shrug the shoulders. Sway the body. Always stay connected to your breath. Right? Don't forget your inhale and exhale. Don't forget your intention. Breathe into the tight spaces of our body. Let's see how much we can create space. All right, as you exhale, hands to the floor, lean back into your feet, your heels, walk the hands slowly up the legs. You're not going to be able to see some of my upper body, but that's okay. We're going to face the front of the yoga mat for Tadasana, or mountain pose. All right, so spread the toes. Let the feet get wide, suction up from the middle of the feet. Right, feel grounded in our Tadasana, the mountain pose. Shoulders are rolled back, palms face forward. All right, moving into our first breath, we're going to inhale and sweep the arms forwards and up. Big breath in, reach up. As you exhale, fold forward to touch the toes. Uttanasana. Left foot steps back as you inhale. Exhale, we step back for a downward facing dog. Inhale into a plank, and as we exhale, slowly lower knees, chest and chin. Extend your hips at the bottom, nice strong legs, low cobra, so low bhujangasana. Shoulders roll back as we inhale, elbows squeeze into the ribs, chin looks forwards, tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward as you inhale for a lunge. Exhale into forward fold, Uttanasana. Good, as we inhale, stand up, sweep the arms up, big breath in, into our Utthita Hastasana, and then we fold forward again. Exhale, touch the toes, Uttanasana. Right foot steps back as you inhale, nice long lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, move into plank, inhale. Knees, chest, chin, Ashta Namaskar. So 8-pointed postration. Inhale to low Bhujangasana. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, right foot steps forwards this time. Inhale. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Good, as we inhale, sweep the arms out and up, big breath in. Place your palms together as you exhale, hands come to the center of the chest, close your eyes. Right, so just a salutation here, a namaste, right? So a namaste is a Sanskrit greeting. It's a word that has a phrase behind it. The divine essence of my being honors and respects the divine essence of your being. Okay, cool. So from Sun Salutation C, let's move into Sun Salutation B, and that's going to incorporate our awkward chair, Utkatasana, and also incorporate our Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. But this time our feet come together. So step your feet together from Tadasana. Hands are still together in prayer. Take a nice inhale, standing up tall. As you exhale, arms alongside the body. Now into Utkatasana. So as you inhale, hips go straight back. Reach the arms forwards and up so that the arms are parallel to the shoulders. Good, big inhale, and as you exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward for Uttanasana. Now come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Look towards the horizon, big breath in, exhale, plant the hands and step into plank. And then the traditional version is lowering to Chaturanga, our half push-up, inhaling into upward facing dog and then going to downward facing dog. So exhale to down dog. I'll show you another variation here in a second. Step the right foot forward for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. So our left foot points forwards at an angle, 45 degrees. Inhale, we come on up, keeping that front knee bent in the flexion, Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. Good, as we exhale, return to the mat, hands down, step back for your plank. And this is the variation. If you don't want to do a yoga push-up, you do what we just did before, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale into low cobra, exhale back to down dog. Okay, left foot steps forward, Warrior One. That right foot turns out at a 45-degree angle. Once your feet are in the placement, use an inhale to lift the upper body. You can place the palms together if you'd like. Looking up, big inhale, exhale, find your plank. Now you can always skip this altogether to stay in your down dog. Another variation to make it more gentle is just to come on down to tabletop. Inhale into cow back, exhale cat, tucking the toes, finding down dog. All right, transition to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, exhale, and step into forward fold. Feet are together. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, right? Our awkward chair. Big breath in. Exhale, stand, arms alongside the body. Tadasana. Close your eyes and just check back in with your breath. Right? Are we controlling the breath? We have a nice big inhale and exhale. Do we remember our intention? Are we keeping our thoughts purified? Right? That's the first of the niyamas, santosha. Or excuse me, that's contentment. Saucha. Saucha is the purity, the cleanliness. So holding on to our sankalpa, we can keep a pure saucha. All right, let's move into one of our first flows of vinyasa. So staying here in Tadasana, we're going to do a similar beginning to our awkward chair for Sun Salutation B. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the chin to the chest. With an inhale, sit back, find awkward chair, Utkatasana. Big breath in. Now as you exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Just like we've done before, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. Good. Exhale, go through our vinyasa, so stepping back into plank, and choose one of those flows. So I'm going to do the Chaturanga Dandasana into up dog or Gomukha, exhaling back to downward facing dog. Good. Take your right leg, lift it into the air with an inhale. As we exhale, bend the right knee, stack the hips to the right. Inhale here, and as we exhale, step forwards for Warrior One. All right, Warrior One is going to transition into Warrior Two. So inhale, bring our arms up. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. And then we're going to transition to warrior two. So inhale and exhale, nice and slow. Good. So when we hold a yoga pose, this is a great opportunity to get deeper into it. If we want more of an athletic practice, we can flow in and out of poses with maybe just one breath in the pose. But we don't get a chance to really understand how our body is in that posture if we only go into it for one breath. So holding a pose is a great opportunity to explore how we feel strong, how we feel weak, where we feel energetic, or where we feel dip in energy, right? So we might feel a little dip of energy here in this front right leg now, but feel strong in the back of that left heel. So to transition to warrior two, what we'll do is turn our hips and torso to the left. So take an inhale. Now as you exhale, turn your torso to the left. Reach the arms horizontally and then reposition that back foot. If you need to go wider, but we'll return with our gaze to the front. Now we're in warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Still challenging that front right leg, so hold it here, you got this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale, good, you got this. All right, so what are some cues for your warrior two? So in all of our lunges, we want to make sure that the front knee stays relatively stable over the ankle. So this right knee should be over the center of our right foot or right ankle. And then looking down, you want to make sure that you can see the inside edge of your big toe. So we don't want that knee collapsing in. That's going to put a weird pressure on our knee. So keep the knee slightly pressed out. This back leg, let the thigh externally rotate. So push down into your big toe, but try to roll that left knee open to the back. Good, shoulders are relaxed, but we're reaching through the fingertips. Good. All right, to transition to the floor, we're going to move into reverse warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. So as you exhale, bring the left hand down behind you. Inhale, sweep the right palm up into the air. As we exhale, just a gentle lean back, reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two, and then cartwheel the hands to the floor. As you exhale, step that right foot back for plank. And then the vinyasa of your choice. I'll show you another one. Knees, chest, chin. Ashta Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Legs are tight in your Bhujangasana. Squeeze the buttocks. Good, elbows into the ribs. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to do that same flow, those same poses on the left side. So as you guessed, the left leg reaches up with an inhale, bend the left knee as we exhale, stack the hips, take an inhale, and then exhale, step forward for warrior one. All right, come on up, inhale, warrior one. Good. So just balancing each side, right? So what are some of those cues for a lunge I just went over in warrior two? Some of those still apply right here for warrior one. So left knee stays center over the ankle, over the foot. If you have fatigue in the knee, you can come back from it. Right? That extension of the knee is going to take some pressure out of the knee, specifically how the quadricep, those tendons, the patellar tendons, go over the knee into our shin. Might be some tightness there. So you can always back out of it if you need to. But again, holding the pose really gives us an opportunity to explore where the mind goes, how we can bring it back, where our strengths and weaknesses are. All right, let's transition to warrior two. Big inhale, and as we exhale, remember we're opening to the right now. So hips and chest, torso turns to the right. Our arms make a horizontal placement, and then maybe we work that right foot a little farther back. Good, so get yourself comfortable and cozy in the yoga pose. Remember, asana just to face you and the camera. So asana, I'm facing the back of my mat now. But asana, if we remember, means steady and comfortable posture, typically related from meditation postures. Good. Feel cozy, feel comfortable. And be aware of where you are in space. You can see I made some adjustments. Right? Sometimes we lean a little bit too far forward in our warrior two. You'll see that a lot. So you can always look down and make sure that the shoulders are right over the hips. Good. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Yeah, feel it in that left leg. We're ready. Good. Nice and strong. Inhale. Exhale. Let's transition out. So as we exhale, right hand comes behind us. Inhale, left palm up towards the sky. Exhale, lean back. Viparita Virabhadrasana, our reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Step that left foot back for plank. And then do the vinyasa of your choice. Knees, chest, chin, yoga push-up. Good. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale here as we exhale. Bend the knees and step to the top of the yoga mat. Feet are together. Good. Come up halfway. Inhale. Exhale. Fold forwards. Awkward chair. Utkatasana. Inhale. Arms reach to the ears. Exhale. Stand. Tadasana. So arms are alongside the body. Feet are together. Top of the mat. Close the eyes. Check in with your breath. Check in with your intention. Again, remember the whole point of the yoga practice is to come into the knowledge of yourself, the deepest truth or essence of your being. So don't let your awareness get attached to your thoughts, to your emotions, and carry you away. Sweep your identity away. You're not these changing moments. Our true essence of being is changeless, timeless. Okay, we got one more flow to do, and that's going to be very similar to what we just did, but we're going to do a high lunge to a warrior three. So we're going to incorporate our balance or peak pose into this last flow. All right, so we're at the top of the mat with our feet together. Same thing as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. As you inhale, find awkward chair, Utkatasana, big inhale, arms reach to the ears, hips sit back. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana as you inhale. Exhale into our vinyasa, so hands down, step our left foot and right foot back, plank, yoga push-up, chaturanga, dandasana, up dog, down dog, whatever you prefer. All right, high lunge with the right foot forward. So as you inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step forward for high lunge. Inhale, bring both arms up. Awesome. Okay, we are going to move into a balance, and this balance is going to be for our right leg. So as we exhale, bring our palms together right to the center of the chest. If you need to, hands can hold on to the hips for a little bit more stability, but we're going to lean forwards. Take our back foot, bring it forward just a little bit, and then strengthen our right leg as we tip into warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. So what I'm doing here, just to be a little bit more in the frame, is that I come into my lunge, I'm leaning forwards, and I'm just launching off of that back left leg, keeping my left foot flexed, and bringing my torso and back leg parallel to the floor, to be horizontally oriented. Now the cool thing about balance poses is that we're going to be challenged. So if you move around, you wobble, that's okay. Right? We want to remove the idea of perfection or having strong expectations. Good. All right, so let's transition back to our high lunge. So all you have to do is exhale and land that left foot back behind you as far as you can. Inhale, both arms up for high lunge. Exhale into the vinyasa. So hands to the top of the mat. Step that right foot back for any flow that you want. And again, that could just be inhaling into a cow back, exhaling, finding cat back to down dog. All right, left side. Inhale the left leg up nice and high. Big inhale. As you exhale, step forward for high lunge, crescent lunge. Inhale, both arms reach up. Okay, move right into warrior three. So I'm going to exhale, put my hands together, and use that to help launch me forwards. Keep your shoulders rolled back, your core nice and tight. All right, so since we have such focus right here in our abdomen, this posture, this yoga pose is going to be working on our Svadhisthana chakra, as well as our Manipura chakra, right? So you can feel that right in the solar plexus, right in the lower pelvic girdle. So hold the pose. You got it. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. You're doing great. Last breath in. Land that right foot far back behind you. Inhale. Come into our crescent lunge. Both arms reach up. Exhale. Hands back to the top of the mat. Step back. Downward facing dog. Good. Let's do one flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Low cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, take a child's pose now. Just a brief rest before we move into some of our final poses. All right, good. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, get ready to come on up. We're going to inhale onto all fours. Tuck the toes as you exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to step forward into our malasana, our yoga squat. So maybe we would have been at the top of the mat and came into a squat, but from here we can get there the same way. So what we're going to do is take our left foot and right foot and step them to the outside of each hand. So left foot steps to the outside of the right hand, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand, and then we squat down. Good, so we come into our garland pose, malasana. Good, all right, so we want to have the feet wide enough so that it feels like the hips could sit in between them. We're using our elbows to press the knees open. So we should be feeling this really low in our pelvic floor. This is that Muladhara, right, the root chakra. And if this is in your practice, you can always move into a balance pose here by putting the hands down, leaning into the toes, lifting the heels, placing the knees right behind the elbows, and lifting our toes for Bakasana, or crow pose. So give it a try if you'd like to. And then have a seat for boat pose, Navasana. So sitting down in the middle of the mat. So hands come behind us to support us, sitting down, grab behind the knees, and lift the shins parallel to the floor. Good, see if we can reach the hands forwards without touching the legs. Nice strong core, breathe. Good, you got it. A few more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Good, one more big breath in. As we exhale, just make your way onto your back for just a moment. Hold the knees in, rock side to side. And we're going to do one more boat pose. So from our backs, all you have to do is rock up onto your hips. So we can balance on our hips without touching the feet. Good, reach the arms forwards. Breathe. Awesome, you got it. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, final breath in. As we exhale, plant those feet and help yourself slowly onto your back. Okay, a counter pose to our core is going to be our back. So walk the heels close to the hips so that you can reach your hands down and with your longest finger touch your heels. The heels are lined up with your hips and shoulders. And we're moving into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, the bound bridge pose. So take an inhale, plant the feet, and as you exhale, push the hips off of the floor, roll your shoulder blades together, and interlace your fingers behind your back. Good, take an inhale and really squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, see if we can press the collarbone into our chin. Good, mildly squeeze the inner thighs, keeping your knees in line with the hips and your ankles. We don't want our knees flailed out to the sides. Good. Awesome, breathe, hold it here. One more big inhale. As we exhale, release the hands and the shoulders, lower upper back to hips, and gently rock the knees side to side. Okay, so from our core to our back bend, now we're going to move into a seated forward fold. So bring the knees back into the chest, rock forwards and backwards, maybe 2 or 3 times. Nice little massage for your spine. But come on up to sit. Make sure that you are in the middle of the mat. Both legs are out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. So I'm going to take my hands right underneath the glutes and kind of scoot them to the sides. Bring my legs as close as I can together and really engage my legs here. We could set up for Dandasana, our seated staff pose, which is just taking the hands alongside the hips and pressing down. If you've got longer arms, you want to move your hands back. Right, if you've got shorter arms, maybe you can press right next to your hips. But Dandasana, a great way to get set up for Paschimottanasana. So when you inhale, sweep both arms up. Keep your core strong as you exhale and fold over the legs. Ideally with your peace fingers grabbing the big toes, but if not, that's okay. We can use a strap around the toe mounds of the feet. You can use the corners or edges of your mat curled up around your ankles. You can even hold on to your shins. All right, just be aware of how your legs are. Look at your ankles. Make sure that both ankles are facing the top of the mat in the same way. You may notice that there's a pronation or supination difference between the left and the right ankles. Now, that might be related to injury of the foot, injury of the ankle, or maybe even injury in the knee or hip. So be aware. Try to keep both sides, both legs equal and even. Good, last exhale, moving into our back extension. So we have 2 options here. We can move into just reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So inhale, sit up, reach both arms up. We're going to exhale, bring both hands behind us about 6 to 8 inches so that if we lean back, our shoulders are going to be over our wrists and our hands. All right, the easiest one is going to be reverse tabletop. So place the soles of the feet onto the mat, hip-width distance apart. The other one is reverse plank, keeping the legs straight and pointing the toes. I'll leave it up to you, but the same thing applies to all of these poses, is inhaling and rolling the shoulders back and looking up with the chin first. And then as you exhale, push the hips off the ground. Good, lift the hips, point the toes, see if you can roll the legs in if your legs are straight. If your feet are on the floor, just keep the hips in line with the knees and shoulders, and we're looking back behind us. So Pursvottanasana, reverse plank. Good, breathe here, inhale. And exhale, good, take one more big breath in. As you exhale, gently lower to the hips. Good, we're gonna make our way into a shoulder stand. So shoulder stand, we can grab either behind the knees or put the hands onto the floor, but we're going to use momentum to rock the hips over our shoulders and catch our hips with our hands. So we're going to slowly roll back, grab the hips once the legs come up. All right, and so again, we want to keep in shoulder stand our gaze at our knees. So keep looking at your knees. Let's just see how straight you can make your body. Walk your hands up your back towards your ribs. See if we can get the hips stacked over the shoulders, knees over the hips, ankles over the hips, point the toes up towards the sky, and push your elbows and shoulders deep into the floor. Okay, some other options here would be just playing around with your legs, bicycling the legs in the air, placing the soles of the feet together, knees open. If you knew how to cross your ankles and come into a lotus, people can come into lotus here. I am lacking some of that flexibility right now. Or you can even do halasana. I've got a wall behind me, but you can bring the toes to the floor overhead for halasana. All right, so come out of the pose, bring the knees to the forehead, using your hands for support. Slowly unroll the body. And let's move into a easy supported fish. So rock yourself onto your hips, sitting up. We're going to place our hands right behind our seat with the palms down, fingers facing the toes. Lean back into your elbows. So this is a low supported fish here. We're using our elbows to support us. And all we're going to do is roll the shoulders together and arc the chest. So arc the chest up towards the sky as you inhale. And with an exhale, just let the head dangle back behind you. Breathe. Now some other versions, you could lift your legs, point the toes. Some people will place the top of the head onto the floor. To come out of the pose, you just simply sit up, look forward with your chin first, and then make your way onto your back. All right, we've got a couple more minutes to finish up before we move into Savasana, so make sure you're in the center of your yoga mat. We're going to do a seated, or excuse me, not a seated, but a reclined twist, Supta Matsyasana. So from the reclined position, so reclined is down on our backs, bring the right knee into the chest and give the right leg a hug. So since we have our right leg, our lower body twists to the left. So use your left hand on the right knee to guide yourself into a twist. So inhale first. Nice long spine, and as you exhale, guide the right knee to the left. You can keep your gaze towards the ceiling or sky, or look to your right and perhaps reach the right arm out to the side. For our Supta Matsyasana. All right, switch sides. Use an inhale to bring that right knee back on up. As you exhale, extend the right leg. Other side, if you need to reposition your hips, readjust your hips, but we'll bring the left knee in with an inhale. Hold the knee in tight. Use an exhale to twist the left to the right. And so it's just really nice because if you have the flexibility in the lower back and you want to go deeper into this pose, it's just really nice to use that hand to press the knee closer to the floor. Good. Slowly come back up whenever you're ready. Okay, keep this left knee into the body just right before we move into our Shavasana. It's just good to kind of stimulate the whole body. So we're going to do Apanasana with a yogi's choice. So depending on how much time you have at the end of a yoga class, maybe your students or even you might want to try another pose or so. So this is a great time to do something else on our backs if you'd like to, or really anything else if somebody would like to. But Apanasana is holding the knees in, squeezing it nice and tight. We could maybe do Happy Baby here, Ananda Balasana. We could maybe do our Supta Baddha, or we could do our pigeon pose on our backs here. Right, the piriformis stretch for the hips. Whatever you've chosen to do for yourself, though, make sure you've done both sides if it's one side at a time. And then make your way into Savasana, corpse pose. So roll the shoulder blades together. Let the ankles be about hip-width distance apart or farther. Palms are up towards the sky. Eyes are closed. And we turn our attention inwards now, right? Practicing this idea of pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. So let's just take a few minutes here to enjoy a Shavasana. I want you to scan your body in the same way that we did seated. Observe the different textures and sensations that come across your body. It could be a smell, it could be a residual taste in the mouth. Even with our eyes closed, you could see different colors of light perhaps, or different shades of gray or blobs in there. Different sounds. Of course, different sensations on our physical body. We want to recognize that the body, the sensations, everything is constantly in flux. Nothing has a permanence to it. However, there is a permanence to our awareness of self, awareness of our own existence. So this is where we want to begin turning our attention inwards towards. As your attention turns inwards to this sense of self, this awareness of existence, bring back your intention, your sankalpa. And just sort of review and reflect on that intention. Does it still maintain its original value to you? Sometimes when we set intentions, they can be superficial. There's nothing wrong with that. But as time goes on, as we deepen our own awareness of ourselves, we can maybe recognize how something that seemed important to us at one point was maybe just sort of vain and shallow. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, this is yoga practice is about growing to the intimate knowledge, the permanent knowledge of our true essence of being. And our true essence of being is going to reflect intentions that are wholesome, right? That have a deep value, that's beyond anything of the, selfish desires. So let's see if our sankalpa can stand up to that scrutiny. And it's okay if we need to make a change to our intentions. All right, let's bring ourselves back into the world. So see that intention, the truth of your intention, and begin to enliven it. Each time that you breathe in and out is a moment of or an opportunity for you to manifest that intention. So bring it into your breath. Breathe it in consciously. Right? Send it out to the world, to the universe. as you exhale. So you're breathing in, right, your own willpower to do what's necessary to fulfill your intention. And then as you exhale, you can surrender, right, to the universe that's conspiring to support our highest good. So move your fingers and toes, and again, let's enliven into our intention, our sankalpa. Move our fingers and toes, the arms and the legs, and try to do it from your internal truth, from your deepest essence of awareness as possible. So once you feel a little bit more enlivened, let's bring our knees into our chest. Take an inhale and exhale, give them a hug here. We're going to roll to our right side and press into our left hand and make your way back into a seat. All right, and then to finish our class in the spirit of yoga, we're going to just take a moment of silence and just open our mind and being, again, to the revelation of our true essence of being. So find a comfortable seat, allow the eyes to close, feel your breath, and just recommit that to yourself. Opening our mind and being to the truth of our truest essence of being. All right, and we'll finish our class with a traditional Om today, A-U-M, Om. We'll do one round of Om chanting. So notice your breath, and we'll take one clearing breath to begin with. So take a normal inhale and just a normal exhale. And let's chant Om together. So big inhale. Om. Shanti, 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 peace.